Hello guys, it's me Limha. Today we're gonna show you how does Godzilla have atomic breath aka fire breath. Atomic breath is a fictional biological weapon. Featured in the Godzilla film series by Toho Company, it first appeared in the 1954 feature film Godzilla, and has been a staple in every Japanese incarnation of the Godzilla character. Atomic breath, or radioactive breath, is the primary range weapon of the Daikaiju known as Godzilla, or Godzilla in the original Japanese. Its existence is owed to a genetic mutation in Godzilla's cell structure following exposure to radioactive fallout from atomic tests that were conducted during the late 1940s and early 1950s. The atomic breath was first represented as a literal aerosol breath of radioactive air that could superheat and destroy dense materials, including cars, steel towers, bridges, and of course, slow-moving Japanese people. Later representations of Godzilla's bad breath has taken on the visual appearance of a death ray. Same effect, but much cooler looking. It is displayed as a concentrated beam of white or blue energy, surrounded by a blue corona. Whenever Godzilla is preparing to release his bioweapon, the plates along his spine will begin to glow. Godzilla's breath weapon is an effective tool against other kaiju as well. It never appears to do any permanent damage to other monsters, but it is enough to repel them from close-quartered combat and to give Godzilla an extra edge. On at least one occasion, Godzilla has projected a concentrated stream of radioactive breath into the mouth of an opponent, ultimately tearing its head off in the process. By his nature, Godzilla absorbs atomic energy, so it stands to reason that after releasing his atomic breath, his body simply absorbs any extraneous radioactive particles from the atmosphere. This is why there never seems to be any lingering radioactive side effects to an area after he has used his atomic breath. His body simply absorbs any extraneous radioactive particles from the atmosphere. This is why there never seems to be any lingering radioactive side effects to an area after he has used his atomic breath. By his nature, Godzilla absorbs atomic energy, so it stands to reason that after releasing his atomic breath, his body simply absorbs any extraneous radioactive particles from the atmosphere. This is why there never seems to be any lingering radioactive side effects to an area after he has used his atomic breath. In terms of visual effect, Godzilla's atomic breath seems to have been put to its greatest use in Godzilla, after deciding to no longer take any crap from pesky humans. Godzilla opened his maw and sprayed his deadly odor over everything he could reach. He melted power stations, watchtowers, cars, tanks, clock towers, and set entire rows of buildings aflame with but a single blast. Godzilla, as well as some of the original storyboards, is the only time that Godzilla's breath weapon can be seen actually killing human beings, though not graphically. Atomic smoke rings. Atomic smoke rings redirects to this page. This is what the junior Godzilla, known as Mimira, was able to produce as he was not yet old enough to fire proper atomic breath. Mimira's smoke rings were quite formidable, however, and could ensnare opponents. Mimira performed this stunt to trap one of King Ghidorah's 3 heads. If properly motivated, which usually involves stepping on his tail, Mimira can produce a breath weapon closer in intensity to that projected by his more powerful papa. Fun fact, the atomic breath is a beam of concentrated radiation, fired out into a beam of atomic radiation, or in some cases plasma, to use this attack. The user's skeets flash in a bluish color usually, signaling that atomic energy is being converted into a physical form. The user then opens their mouth and fires out the atomic breath from their maw. Blue Spiral Ray, an upgraded version of the atomic breath that was first used by Heisei Godzilla, although other Gojirans can use it. It is now primarily used by Birth Goji. Purple Spiral Breath, an upgraded version of the atomic breath but causes less damage than the red spiral ray. Some Gajirans can use this attack, but used primarily by Alanagaji and 15 Goji. Red Spiral Ray, an upgraded version of the Atomic Breath that was first used by Heisei Godzilla. This beam is very hot in terms of temperature and is more powerful. Most Gajirans can use this attack. Purple Atomic Breath, a variant of the Atomic Breath, used by Shin Gajira. Atomic Breath Vapor, a slightly weaker variant of the Atomic Breath. Anyways, goodbye.